I'm presenting for my senior project. This is my crowd. Alrighty. Okay, so for my senior project, I decided to crochet a blanket. This is a picture of the finished product, which is right here. It is very big, and it ended up being a gift for my mom for her bedroom to use. So one of the main reasons I wanted to do crocheting was because my mom wanted me to, has been begging me to get into crocheting with her. So it was in order to spend more time with her and kind of just felt like I could kill two birds with one stone. I was able to do my senior project and crochet with my mom. So the process, I started out with buying supplies. I had to go to the fabric store, and I told my mom which yarns they had, and she knew it was going for her room, and so she decided which colors to pick. So I ended up having to go back 2 separate days because they didn't have all of the yarn that I wanted. So I went back and got everything that I needed. I also had to buy a very big crochet hook in order to make it. And then we started by just learning the basics. So my mentor was my grandma, and she taught me how to hold the hook right and how to do everything. So she first taught me how to just chain links to get any crochet project started, and then how to do a slip knot, which, you would do a slip knot first, and then you would start to crochet your project. So then we learned how to do a single crochet and a double crochet, and for my project, we ended up only using a double crochet. We did the same stitch all the way throughout in order to make it the easiest. And then with kind of time and everything, I just learned to become a little faster and kind of figuring out which way to do it best. There was a lot of time spent just hanging out and watching movies while I crocheted with my mom. And then completing the blanket was pretty easy. It took me about 15 hours in total to complete it all, but there were definitely some setbacks, one of which we had to undo about 6 hours of my work because I had messed up one link and didn't realize it until I had gotten 6 hours later into my project. And so we ended up having to go way back in order to do that. So a lot of setbacks there, but a lot of learning along the way. And then the other thing we learned is that when switching through to a different thing of yarn, instead of tying them together, we could save more yarn by burning the ends together. So it ended up saving us some yarn, making our blanket bigger. Otherwise, we would have had to cut off about probably 10 feet of yarn. So we just decided to make it a little easier and save some yarn. So, alrighty, so for my paper, I decided to write it on the benefits of crafting. I always had kind of known that crafting helped you in a way, but I wanted to learn how it helped you more. So about a year, maybe 2 years ago, I found out I had ADHD, and my mom figured it out at the same time, so she decided to pick up crafting to kind of do something more handy. And she told me that she loved it and it helped her a lot. Late at night, instead of just sitting on her phone, she would sit there and crochet and have something to do to keep her mind occupied. So I said, why not give it a try? So I ended up crocheting the blanket, and I did notice my screen time going down late at night. I would sleep better and all this stuff like that. So for my paper, I studied 3 different topics. So I studied the mental health aspect of it, and in the mental health side, it talks a lot about how it can help people with those ADHD. It helps a lot of people with being able to keep their mind occupied and stuff like that. So just one quote that I like from my paper, it says, "This applies especially to children as it provides an outlet for them to express their emotions, have fun, and develop a sense of mindfulness." And that was from Fiesta Crafts in their article. But I just like that one because it helps children, which I'll talk more about. But yeah, it just has been shown to help people a lot with your mental benefits. So next is the developmental health, which is like children in like their early stages of life and being able to, kind of learn new things and stuff like that. And one of the things I like from there is it said, like when they're doing crafts, then having the choice, like when doing a coloring book, having the choice of choosing like what crayon to use, what coloring to page to draw. Like it gave them control over their lives. So that was something that I liked in there. But then it also helps a lot with like their hand-eye coordination. So stuff like, again, coloring in books or like even using scissors, like just can help develop their skills in a lot of ways. So I really like that. And then the stress levels. So one of the best quotes from all the studying I did was from Loomer. It says, all forms of art can be beneficial in boosting mental health. Benefits include increase in self-esteem, reduction in anxiety or stress, improving communication, and fostering creativity. So one of those that I liked a lot was the increase in self-esteem, and it goes along with the boosting cognitive skills of kids. It helps them a lot to know that they can start something and finish it. Like my blanket, I started it and finished it, and it gave me the confidence to know that like, hey, I can do things, like I can start things and finish them. And so I just like that one, that it was like kind of a boost in confidence. Alrighty, any questions? Ishi.
Overall, how long did it take you to complete this entire project?
For the entire project, shopping and crocheting it all, it probably took me 16, 17 hours, but it would have taken me a lot less if I didn't have to go back and like kind of learn along the way. So. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like after learning to crochet that you would do another project in the future?
Yeah, I definitely think I would. I've been trying, like as of lately, to reduce my screen time. I've kind of set it into perspective that if I'm spending a lot of time on my phone, like that is just time thrown away. So might as well spend it, making something and completing a project. So I think I will.
I know that crochet has become trendy again in fashion. Do you feel as though you would crochet a wearable piece, or are you going to stick with blankets and such?
I think a wearable piece would be fun. I think it's something that's a little more challenging, so maybe starting out with some easier stuff like blankets again, anything along those lines. But eventually in the future, I would like to make something else that I can wear and show everyone. So, yes, Ishi.
What was the biggest challenge you faced during this project?
Oh, having to probably listen to my mom. That was kind of a tough one. She wasn't my mentor necessarily, but like being able to open my mind and be able to like take her advice, because she knew a lot more than me, which is something I didn't figure out until later on. So would have been nice to know earlier so I didn't have to go back. Yeah.
Was counting the number of stitches in each row harder than you anticipated?
Yeah, so in every single row I had to count out 44 stitches, which, like going back, I wish I would have listened to her earlier, because all of a sudden it went from 44 to 45 to 48, like it just kept skipping. So my blanket kind of like went off this way, and it wasn't a perfect square, but I do wish I would have listened to that one earlier and taken that into account.
Are you glad that you went back and fixed it so it actually looks like a rectangle blanket instead of a parallelogram?
Yes, it looks much better like that. So, alrighty. Thank you so much.